Hi class, my name is Garrett Marchese, and today I want to talk about the issue of deforestation of the Amazon and its effects on the environment, economy, and people, both locally and on a global scale. So, deforestation as an issue. Um, Deforestation is very harming to the economy, the environment, and the people of the Amazon region. Biodiversity loss is a huge issue. It's very substantial and debilitating for the region. Biodiversity is any variation in plant or animal or living creature that resides in an area. Um, and this loss is very impactful for the globe because many of these plants that are lost, they hold medicinal properties. Um, and these properties could be anything from curing headaches to the common cold, eventually maybe, or even something like cancer. Losing these plants holds a lot of value that is damaging to the future of things like the medical industry, people with debilitating illnesses. It's detrimental to those factors. Um, it's also going to play into the economic downfall of Brazil or nearby countries in the near future. Um, Brazil and other countries like nearby currently rely on the lumber export from the Amazon in order to sustain themselves economically. Um, this is an unsustainable method as the lumber is a finite resource that will eventually run out and they will be left in a situation where they have no means of generating revenue for themselves. So this begs the question: what can we do about this issue? Um, how can we solve or at least minimize deforestation while continuing to advance the medical field, economic advancements, make economic advancements for the country, or improve the environment of the region as a whole? It's a very complex issue, multifaceted, with several disciplines that need to be looked into in order to identify an effective solution for this problem that is creating rippling issues through the entire Amazon region. I chose to look into three different disciplines while researching this issue. Those disciplines were the environmental studies discipline, medical disciplines, and economic disciplines. The first issue or discipline that I want to discuss is the environmental studies discipline. Um, so, one of the key factors of this discipline is going to be looking into the biodiversity loss. This is like fundamental to the entirety of the issue, um, but there are over 3 million different species of creatures living within the Amazon, 2,500 different types of trees, um, and out of all of these, huge number of biodiversity and difference in plants and animals is there's 137 different ones going extinct daily. This is a huge number as compared to what research shows should be happening for a region, a rainforest of this size. It's over 100% increase. Super detrimental to the region and the globe as a whole, losing out on um, these range of different creatures that could be used for such a variety of things like medical needs, food, etc. The rising levels of carbon dioxide is also super damaging to the environment as a whole. This isn't necessarily just from the clear cutting and the removal of trees to recycle that oxygen into recycle that carbon dioxide into oxygen, but it's the use of this land afterwards for things like cattle ranching. Um, Something like cattle ranching will produce a lot of carbon dioxide by cattle manure, releasing this into the atmosphere and generating that resource, as well as things like forest fires within the Amazon from construction or mining, etc. Um, this also releases smoke and carbon dioxide into the air. And this plays into the next issue of oxygen supplementation derived from this lumber and other flora um, no longer being present um, to recycle that carbon dioxide into oxygen for humans to consume and to ensure health of people of the region as well as the globe. The next discipline I want to speak about is the economic disciplines. So this will be looking at the usage of the resources from the Amazon by Brazil and surrounding nations in order to um, generate revenue for their countries. So the methods used primarily by Brazil, um, they call it the boom and bust method. It's extremely devastating, um, and it's unsustainable, and will eventually lead to the decline of the Brazilian economy. Um, it's unsustainable in the sense that trees take a long time to regrow, and they are being removed at a rate that they can't grow back in time to supplement that loss. Um, there needs to be more long-term periods where they don't cut or they plant trees in place of the ones they've removed in order to sustain these methods or to generate resource that are the resource of lumber that is heavily used from the Amazon. Which brings me to the next point of there are a lot of necessary resources that are located within the Amazon. This is super beneficial to countries like Brazil that rely on this for their economy. While it is unsustainable, it is generating economic value for their country by usage of the lumber as a primary export, as well as the land for things like ranching and farming and mining in particular. Um, this creates a really rapid growth for the country of Brazil to utilize this resource, while it is also very destructive for the environment. It does generate a short-term economic advancement for the nation. The next discipline I looked into was the medical disciplines. It's found in many different studies and researches that there is a large portion of the flora and fauna in the Amazon region that contains um, medical properties. As much as 28% of the uh, materials found within the Amazon possessed medical properties. Many of these are untested, as it is now currently. Um, in several short studies where they went out and tested different regions, different regions, plants, they found that large portions of them were medicinal in nature, and they had lots of properties that were helpful to people. It is believed that potentially the cures to cancer, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, maybe even the common cold could be found within this region. It's just out there and hasn't been discovered yet, which is could be hugely valuable as a resource for the region to generate economic value, as well as very helpful to the people of the world. To continue on, looking into the interdisciplinary nature of this issue, it can be found that there's an interconnected nature to each of the disciplines that I delved into. Each of the disciplines on their own, there was some bias found within these disciplines that tried to prove a certain point. So we need to look into those deeper to find just the truth of the issue. Um, Looking into these, there is compounding solutions that can be developed through the use of the three disciplines I looked into, and how they can work together to seek improvement together for the benefit of the Amazon rainforest. Um, so through those methods, we were able to look at the values of the environmental studies discipline, the medical discipline, and the economic discipline, and how they can join together um, to create a solution that might be viable for the long-term sustainability of the country and the Amazon rainforest itself. Preserving and developing of the Amazon rainforest rather than this clear cutting deforestation can be shown through research to have more longevity and better outcomes for the economic solution, for the economic state of these surrounding Brazil and surrounding countries. Um, this obviously benefits the environment as well by preserving it, and it benefits the medical fields by utilizing those plants found within. It was found in my research that medical plants may hold the key in this solution to go out and research these plants, many of them untested as stated, um, to find one that has properties that could cure a disease such as Alzheimer's, cancer, Parkinson's, etc. Something like that that's been a debilitating illness that's affecting large portions of the population. Um, Finding a cure like that could be a super beneficial resource that would be able to be sold, harvested, protected in the region in order to um, benefit all of these different disciplines as well as the overall region of Brazil. Um, it would require some luck or time in order to find and test all these plants, to find the ones with medicinal properties and then find ones with useful medicinal properties. But this will have more long-term sustainability than something like clear cutting, um, which is both destroying the environment as well as the economy in the end. With all of this being said, with the issue at hand being so complex, it's impossible to find a solution that is going to completely cover the issue. Um, but it's important. It was important to use the different interdisciplinary nature of this research in order to develop a foundation that could be potentially um, more long lasting than the clear cutting, for the benefit of the Amazon rainforest, its economy, and the people of the region.